Football has updated a program that brings you the latest happenings here. Football, and of course today will be no exception as we have a super exciting edition for you. We will, to be precise, the competition manager of the Gambia, where we'll be talking about both male and female league, respectively. This is to be a very insightful discussion with the man himself, and also a colleague as well, because you all know he's a journalist. So on this platform, so today is the first, and I'm hoping it's going to be very, very interesting. Like a special thank you to the production crew for putting this production together, and of course to our wonderful viewers. Big welcome to you, and I am super excited to have you on this platform, my boss.
Thank you for a wonderful welcome.
Right.
I could not have planned for a better welcome. A wonderful season that just ended, and it's only right to do a review and talk about
interesting. And of course, we'll begin with, you know, they said ladies first. We'll begin with early morning today to Sierra Leone to attend the CAF Championship. You know, automatically as the winners of dates with regards to the team settling in and all of. Yeah, and before we get to listen to the interview, we paid them Tuna, the assistant coach, and of course, team captain Mariama Bojang. My name is Ekias. Okay. Oh, it's not me, of course. Yeah, how would you sum it up for the Red Scorpions? Because this is the first time they are participating. We call this milestone for Red Scorpions.
Oh, it's monumental.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, Red Scorpions over the last decade, and from the fruits of their labor, they have earned CAF Champions League for women.
Yeah.
They have always pushed the envelope as far as the they also inspire other clubs, other girls. Football.
Right.
And women's football has really expanded and developed, not to where we want it, but we are in the Red Scorpions will be facing, we know, Determined Girls of Liberia,
right,
who also have their star players as Gambia.
Determined Girls. Also, we know Mam Drame playing for Abukor some couple of years ago, now playing in Senegal. Medina team, Angel de Medina, playing Red Scorpion in their first game. So we'll talk more about that when we listen to the interview of Ms. Suna Njai and of course Mariam Dio, myself, Mariama Bojang, and Modu Jang, competition manager, GFF.
So far, so good for this competition. We are so glad that we've been approved by CAF. We see ourselves as Gambian team because we are going there to raise the flag of the nation. It's a really good motivation for these kids. But we are not just going there for competition, but we are going there to make history as well to its journey. But if you believe in it, work towards it, inshallah, and then
we have seen the whole process, how tedious it has been for. How would you sum it up as the assistant coach, you working with the Girls Olympian, because this is a much bigger stage?
Yeah, Maria, but you know, this, as you said, this is a much bigger stage and that we're carrying, and we don't want to disappoint the nation. We are ready, we've prepared, training very hard, we intensify the training, everything is going smoothly. We also, we really appreciate their here for us, and they've done everything possible to see us go through. Association also is giving us, it's really helping us. We learn,
you know, go to institutions and all of that recently. What was the meeting all about, and of course has the First Lady contributed or given you
a letter like we did to all other institutions? Luckily for us, they responded, and they responded to this guide. So I mean, she gave us a word of advice and a promise. play with them at Senegal, but that was ages like 10 years ago. That team with this we are training will be enough to be able to face them. Yeah, as for now, much concentration is on the will be a nice one because we're gonna play with our champions. We knew each other, but this is football. We'll know what take us there and we'll do exactly as.
Through the arrangements now against leaving this country, we know you are Sierra Leone.
Inshallah, Rabbi, by God willing, we'll be leaving early Tuesday. Inshallah. And the technical and the players are all things that is expected or beyond what is expected on them just to see that this trip success. So it's now on us to also go there, perform well, come back victorious and say to them thank you. Well, the kids are prepared.
Starté woon si donation bi ñuy dem si tali di nga suñ la gisee nga def loolu dinañ xam ne bëgg nga dara understand ñëpp di commencé noonu waaye yombutoon waaye ñu ñoo ko bëgg soo bëggee dara rek da nga am pour ñefe ko ñu ngi ñaan ñëpp ñu dugg si xam nga ñu jàppale ñu parce que soo gisee bi yoon ñu sacrifice ñu ne amuñ xaalis amuñ dara waaye sacrifice ñu ne xaaral ñu jéena buga nañoo romba level bii nii parce que kenn buguta nekk si benn level bi buga nga romba to another sax waaw.
gis nañ draw bi barke Demba ñu gis li nga xam ne mooy seen first opponent bi.
kanam waaye football léegi nekkut in paper football si field la understand nga dama gisee ne ñun ñëpp a em benn level bi la so xam nañ ne match bi du yomb ñoom ñëpp pare nañ parce que xam nañ ñëpp luñ bugga nañoo mu finto an Sénégal inshallah.
We are back here in the coach for Red Scorpions and of course team captain Mariama Bojang explaining to us to make sure they have a successful registration with the CAP system and the training session all together and pre-numbers. They want to go and compete, which is for me is very key.
Yeah, but that's in the Red Scorpion in this great achievement of being the first female team to represent. Said, I am certain with the drive and the fight, it just trickles down to the players, to the culture, to the way noise where they are going in Sierra Leone, and we are crossing our fingers, doing
Red Scorpions 48 points, and of course lost only 2 games, that is against Berewul. They are the 2 teams that defeated Red Scorpions in the league. Red Scorpion having a staggering point of 48 performance-wise and goal scoring. The kind of performance they, do you think they can score teams and all of that? Because but also they are going to play against their fellow Gambians as well. Yes. And those people are also leading.
We'll have to see, wait and see, but
right.
If you look at both scripts, it looks very... The Gambian League in the first division, as you mentioned earlier, the Gambian League, first and foremost. Yes, Red Scorpions have been dominant last decade or so. Yeah. Their main rivals had been Police FC, or formerly in the wrong direction these days, but I'm sure they'll come back stronger because they have that culture, and that's although they played them close last season as well. They are the new Police in the sense that they are the closest rivals to Red Scorpions.
Right.
So the club in this league, but against Berewuleng, it shows that the gap is now competition purposes. This is what we yearn for, so that we have teams with, and that just keeps the progress in the female leagues.
Right.
Again, I jumped the gun earlier and talked about the Gambian players that are involved in the CAF Champions League,
Right.
at least from my neighborhood. I used to see her in the streets not too long ago. Sent to the shop, but the way she walked, and she'll be kicking stones and things like that.
Right.
You could tell this is something that she loved, and I'm really glad for her that scored a few goals. Likewise, Mbasi has been a house about Mom.
Mom, yeah.
Mom, who's a speedy winger, she has no time.
Right.
She's just going. Dem rek la xam. They are dañ am jom,
Okay.
and they are dedicated. Around the Africell area. So I drive towards the place before 4 o'clock.
Before
and
4, yeah.
Yes, and it's something that's commendable.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you fit, that is, that you wouldn't have had you not done the work. So
Yeah.
I'm proud of them.
ñu ne soo yàggee si teen.
All of common. Why man? Wow, that's
waaw moo tax ma woo ko
the
pour nga
phrase.
jékkali ko. Yeah.
Mun nga ko wax si soose itam.
waaw fële si Sierra Leone waaye seen first game ñu ngi play ak ñi nga xam ne mooy Agel de Medina mu nekkati Determined Girls balaa ñoo dem Determined Girls rek nañ look at Medina because ñaari dëkk yi pressure bi daf day nekk both sides ba tax na léegi bi nga xam ne sax suñ football bi dafa gën a improve ñu waxtaanee game boobu noonu balaa ñoo dem Determined Girls.
Waaw niñ xamee Red Scorpions. waaye soo buggee compare development wise in terms of infrastructure, remuneration.
Waaw.
Wante soo buggee xool yi tamit the talent pool that Gambia lim dee génnee si jànxa yu mën a football pour jigéen ñi. At least xëj na from the early stages ba nga am or maybe after college yooyu normally ñi ci dee des duñ dee bari.
Waaw.
and loolu noonu daf dee si football bi and people ñu ngay gis yi tamit the movement of players. We have players in China and all these things. Dafa just motivate more girls. Man, I have even Taysa. She's trying to get me put my dugal ko si academy because dafa buga. How ma leen on paper pour mun na discuss how well they'll do or how well Red Scorpions will do. They're determined. And the lifin bi gap bi si digante bi magut mag bo you have a chance to win.
Xam nañ ne maam nekkul di player guy waaye according to information bu ñu am do you think it will kind of give pressure to Red Scorpion because xam nañ ne maam is a speedy winger comme noo ko waxee dafa
nga xam comme niñ dee waxee the devil you know is better than the devil
you don't know. Right.
So maam ñun and loolu noonu nekk na soo loo xam ne sa homework bi def nga ko ba pare because in terms of xëj na technically mun naa joxe certain secrets ak lifin about or winger bi munta cross or something like this. These little details xëj na mun su fekkee maam Medina daf ko jël yóbbu ko si seen team bi def ko starter kon ñoom they are on the same level because maam si level buy la jógee waaw so it can go both ways depends on waaw
ñu ñëw si match day 2 determining contributions bu am solo am leading goal scorer am best defender si benn league.
Those three girls lan lañ dee play. ñoom ñooy spine team bi. You know in a team at the striker. So that's your spinal cord. Everything else functions because you have a strong spine. Determined Girls a lot of what they were able to achieve this season because of the contribution. Something to be prideful of, because as a Gambian, you want to see Gambians be on top of the pecking order, not just for scoring goals. And of course, captain national team, Rugi Diouf,
Rugi, yeah.
we all know hardworking and disciplined. So yeah, they are good ambassadors for our football.
Bala game bi di door ñu ngi def on Thursday. We will have another broadcast on Thursday. You know, we'll get you footage yi si foofu noonu ñu won leen. It's a very good start for a female league winners to represent, opposed to a lot of football agents watching these games. Loo xam ne dafa am solo torop exposure.
They will be exposed to a lot of football people. Agents can be bogus. I'm not a big fan of agents. Why? They'll be exposed of the various countries in Africa. So even dafa cut the middleman. They can talk to the club directly rather than involving these agents, and it can get complicated sometimes. Not that they don't do it.
Right. Mu nekk loo xam ne am na solo comme que league review lañ wax dañ ne rek it's a more update about the seen ñu jógee ko foofu rek ñëw si li nga xam ne mooy league season bi 2023 2024 gis nañ Ray Scorpion comme lu ma ko waxee woon sànq rek am nañ 48 points this season nekk.
Bere moom soo leen gisoon soo leen xamoon even bi gaay nekkee second seen trajectory bi yëpp is upward si kaw lañ jëm. Waaw TMT ñooy you know merged with TMT. ñoom TMT am na men ak am na women léegi. Why the supporting character is also young and he is very exuberant. Wante you can see ne they are dañoo just continue the tradition of being third or fourth, you know. So they are third ahead of Police. So Police was the biggest disappointment this season. Why during they wasn't very smooth because of many. They were able to keep things together, CB playing field, and amassed 34. It's commendable, Nyom Tamet, what they have done.
Yeah, gis nañ one of the biggest transfers. Gis nañ ñi ma jógee from Jumama, demoy ko fële si make headlines. Nyima's contribution has been immense in the TMT team this season. In Senegal, and she's one individual being a negotiation be dafa ongoing for a couple of months because Jum first division in male be munna hell second division be, and it's still a whole lot of money.
Wow, why the playbook is activities in you take place, right? And it's encouraging Pundagis a team like TMT. Again, they came up with dividend because, like you said, so the money must have been worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth, then you can even call it a cheap deal.
Yeah, yeah. When you have one a couple of years ago, they didn't make the cut. Immigration, they started slow but gained momentum along the line. Feature B as well, Brickham, and you maintain. But let's talk about City Girls at GAF.
It's been, they are very predict. Yeah. Because they are not really, so I don't know what London need put the same position, see first division. Yeah. Why they have their work cut out. These days, the likes of Jumama, you know, Yakar has gone, Joshua has.
Yeah.
GAF it was a big disappointment, being an institutional club, and I know that we have a lot of females. So, what happened this time around? Yeah. Especially since dismal return of means they have dropped 44 points. Yeah. It's almost 85–90% of the point tally buñ mënoon a they lost that. So I'm sure dinañ delluwaat dinañ regroup, and as it is an institutional team that was really great,
Yeah.
started to get older. Some started to move when they lost Kati and they lost Mbasi, is it? And they also lost Rugi. Places pour ñu mën a am chance pour mën a compete.
But it's very interesting in the first division. Comme loo ko waxee Red Scorpion, City Girls into the second division is going to be even tougher because it's very competitive in the second division. So ñu dem rek seeti li nga xam ne mooy Yaakaar.
Yes, Yaakaar xala mel ni Heart Academy of the division. Came out of nowhere. They were in their own corner. They built the seen affair.
Wow.
And once they came out, in the start of the season, it looked dafa nuru woon ne Joshua United. They had the most wins.
Yeah.
They had enough number of draws and they had the least losses. They've scored enough goals with a plus 21 goal difference. Because on the last day, I think Joshua was playing Kintes for second place or something like that. Because they were 22 and Kintes was 19. Two clubs, Joshua, they just came down last season. So dañoo delluwaat ci familiar ground. Yaakaar with club yu mag yi di ñëw di poach seen players yi.
Okay.
Hope they stay competitive. Next year will determine a lot about their future.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ñëw si first division bi certificate division next season. Wax nañ Joshua ak seen performance bi wax nañ Kintes. Greater Tomorrow maintain nañ.
They were top of the league for many weeks, and then after ñu dip. So I'm sure. Wow.
Both newcomers, I think they did very well because maintaining at the 8th position is not.
Their first season.
Yes.
Number one. Number two, at the end of the
league, yeah.
At the end of the first round, they were in the bottom. They were written off.
Right.
And then came in and joined. Yeah. And it went up from there, and they were at the table. So it's a good learning process for them, and they are able to. She's also very ambitious.
Right.
And the owner of Yaakaar is by girls.
Girls, yes. Yeah.
Girls who love the game. And so when one does well, it makes in our football. Yeah.
Of course. Mansawali also pulled out 23 points. And of course, present the same. Raptim and Trust going down.
They need time. Then solar time for you understand. Because they are a provisional team that last season. And this season was too tough for them. Raptim, we've always known them as a second division club. Why send campaign be this year? You can know that there must be problems. All I send statistics, they deserve to be down. They've only won 3 games out of 22. They've lost. They score only 18 games. So they score less than 1 game, 1 goal every game Bugai play. We don't bounce back. Why? That's why leagues are important. Leagues are the best because you have period.
Yeah. I'm not solo. So we will just go to begin with player documentation when it comes to because you give players see while our team owners see late to do documentations and all of that. Let's begin with that before we dip into the discussion.
Okay.
Yes.
It's a summary of how player documentation works. There are different to be registered. Obviously, they have to be a free player who is not part of it for free. And why the registration process is good. The director of this program.
Yes.
It is a requirement going forward for next season that all clubs have to register app or website, and that way from anywhere in the world, FIFA clubs UEFA luñ la ci needé.
Wow.
Regulations.
Yeah.
An uncontracted player can move with a clearance.
Okay.
A contracted player needs a transfer to move from one club to another club. Some issues in there because let's say a player is contracted to Carnifing East, for example.
Yeah.
And even in the case where the player wants to go to Dutch Lions, if he's a contracted player, the only way they can do that is they come up with an agreement at Dutch Lions.
Yeah.
So sometimes any club,
Right.
so that people don't think I am pointing fingers at anybody.
Right.
Why, you know, I don't think that is ethical.
Yeah.
And I don't think that is so clubs obviously dañ opante doole.
Yeah.
Dañ opante ham-ham, dañ opante facility. I've put something in that player be yow nga gis ko be buga ko.
Wow.
So yow tamit da nga war a pare pour yii nii in a nutshell mooy the issue.
You're in the gonna face.
Yéen de gën a face daal waaw.
Sometimes we see you postpone games and all of that stuff. Then they gis ne the next month and all that stuff. What you about the calendars? Lolu naka la dey affecté yeen self preparation?
Because then there are a lot of issues. Even if we sit down, which we do, and you know, you identify or under 20 we have so many players. See, that club cannot play without those players.
Yeah.
Even if we factor the years has been grounds, because the leagues have expanded.
Yeah.
But on the contrary, they're not expanded in line with it.
Yeah.
Not that they are used. For instance, the Nyakoi field, which can be used by URL teams. And maybe if Jam City come back.
Yeah.
Also the private ownership working on their grass field, which we anticipated will be done in the and it would have, you know, that's done gina gawal mbirmi. Don't anticipate yet. They did not come. And we have dañ am pour seet lan lañ mën a def based on the circumstances. Am nañ calendar.
Yeah.
Ñu déggoo ak the Super Nawetaan committee pour ñu postpone Super Nawetaan for 1 year.
Yeah.
So this year we came closest to play again November calendar be for the GFF.
Okay.
So the only games we play outside of June 31st FF Cup finals.
Right.
Everything else that came after that was either first division. So basically, the target was almost achieved. Another issue I'm at the last right move because it's dangerous for any player to play on that pitch. So that it can also be refurbished and then we can make. Then all of a sudden it's closed. And all those games that were already predetermined to be in Banjul have already been scheduled.
Yeah.
So it was a really tough task, but my colleagues at the competition, we put heads together and we sit. We were able to finish the league in the, let's say, the injury.
You know, with everything that, we had a couple of breaks here and there, but circumstances. performances, which is good. But congratulations to each and every one at the competition department, which is very, very important. Team performance, this season we have seen improved teams, the first division and the second division separately.
Okay, I think for me, the team that caught my eye, there were, in the first division, there were at least 3 teams that caught my eye.
Okay.
Falcons, for good players. When they first came up initially, I think they were second or so. Additional players like the Adama James and all these players that they've lost. But they have them na ñu utiwaat, and the performance at the level has improved. Ñoom rek ñoo push Real. In the second, Steve Biko. Steve Biko also lost part of their spine. Like they lost Dembo Sedikan. They lost Adama Bojan.
Yes.
And after Adama, Owen came, Lamin Silla.
Yeah.
I always, he's a really humble kid and a very talented kid. I wish him well where he is.
Yeah.
But it's a skill bo hamne itamit management binga wara jox.
Right.
You see teams before Steve Biko, they are always in the mix. Team Rhino was a surprise. Why I think at the end, guy dañ suur dañ lekk ba suur. Good as they're starting. And ñoom, they were. Why then the results started going south.
Yeah.
What reason, I don't know.
You don't.
I don't know.
Yeah. So, for really did survive Brikama United. They had to last game of the league to make sure they were saved, featured in the first division, Mr. Jain.
Yes, Brikama United. Yes, 29 points with 3 games to go. And they were second bottom, fighting for playoffs games. And they jumped from 15th place to 9th feet.
Of course.
At some point, everybody thought Brikama were going to relegate.
And
it would have been, they ended up being mid-table, ahead of teams that have. Bombada, they did well.
Yeah.
They were back in the first division for the first. Why in the end, they were reaching for the finish line.
Yeah.
Because had it gone further, they were not doing so well.
Yeah.
They always find a way to survive.
Right.
Then they nyom.
Walidan, Wabanjo, Walidan are both.
It's not one of the most successful teams. It's
the
most successful.
The most successful team.
Real de Banjul 14.
Yes.
So there's 7 league titles between them and Real.
And Real. So.
And lost most of it. Walidan, as a kid growing up, Walidan was the sexy team. Gone. Teams have caught up. Teams have improved. Football has expanded.
Yeah.
More verve, more determination, more will to learn.
Yeah.
And so Walidan is a sad story.
Yeah.
Wow. They money in the past 3 years, 5 years. I'm not sure whether they invested it well though. Jaratul dara mo jang daf la neexal pour nga dugal ko sax mom jarut a jënd. Ma jënda
Omar Touré.
Non, maa ngi jéem a seet object sax comme ma jënda laptop bi ma téye nii ma dem ma fay si waaw because it na mun naa amee better laptop for $1,000 an Apple laptop.
Yeah.
So ñoom seen among issue. Because they should have looked for things like seen field, better players, and sure this is my opinion, it's not GFF, it's not anybody. This team to go to Saudi for training camp, and what it did was the first of expectations from the players.
Of course.
So all these players, you have them, you tell them that we're good. And bala ñoo ew from that dream. Dafte isi fekana lu bari passé na. The people that were involved took a step back. Instead, ñoom ñëpp ñu put hands together and try to save a sinking ship. Why I would it's the toughest league. So they got their work cut out for them. Wa Banjul name ni.
Wow,
Hangaluta ma name le.
Wow, Banjul
They are
teams.
all Banjul teams.
Yeah.
What is the population of Banjul at a footballing age?
Yeah.
Ñaata boys yi nekk at a footballing age ñoo mun a football. Ak ñaata si ñooñu ñoo bugg a playal or other teams. So léegi raw material bi lii lim de isi mooy it's about the survival of the fittest. So Mohamed Saliu not there anymore, or they are not informed, or places you cannot replace player because amulo it's a recruitment process because of all the teams in our computer.
Yeah, but I just want us to talk about because lu stand out mooy Hearts FC provinces for the first time you make it to the first division with a remarkable feat for
Heart mooy Cinderella story si Gambia.
Cinderella.
Mooy Cinderella story.
Okay.
Heart came from nowhere contending.
Yeah.
Albeit very small. Playing at Soma, they made it a fortress. Anything.
Wow.
If you get a point, it's like a win. So, the accent players and the players around Jara Soma. Because from there we've been and maybe one or two of them might be part of the team. And lolu moy mandate GFF through teams at ñu mëna establish clubs at competitions for nonu. And Heart is a you know, look at Heart. Obviously, Ouagadougou are here now, and others. Jara Soma as well. So there's so much impact these things do.
I was going to come to that promotion bit.
If they did, very tough for them because those key players that they might have.
Other teams as well.
And the teams in the second division will be looking at Hawks. BK Milan to slip out at the end, and maybe they'll get it right at some point.
We conclude with the FF Cup. Gis nañ Medina success story ñu ñëw bit almost teams yuñ dajal yépp.
ñoom they came with the mentality we have nothing to lose. It's our first experience. Let's go and have fun. And am pour win leen. And that didn't happen. A lot of them games, 2 or 3, maybe 4 of them went through TMT team for a good start to their league, their first year in the top league or the second league playing.
November, what date exactly?
Inshallah, we will start in November, somewhere between the first.
Last words, it's been a pleasure talking to you and
fun talking about football. So just want to was part of the organization of the league. The security, your team of that the league flowed in a very smooth manner for coming up with quick decisions about punishments or lack of punishments. So just to Basuri for a final for the FF Cup. Time we don't have time to talk about everything. But everybody
very much for coming through to this program. It's been a pleasure having all of this. Amadou Bakari Burama Balde, Ibrahim Suara Master E, my producer. Into this program, we want to say a very big thank you. the next, of course, edition will come in on Thursday. Stay tuned as we bring you latest happenings happening there with regards to the competition. Thank you very much. My name is Mariama Bojang. Have a fantastic day. We love you.